Bentley spun and galloped straight down the road between the burning buildings. As we watched, one of the trees creaked and fell into the street, sending a curlicue of embers up into the air. "Bentley's running straight into the worst of it," Sammy said. "I warned her to be careful," Dawkins said, standing and heading back to the gazebo. "She's carrying a note for the McDermott and the others. The stables are back there. They can take the horses and Bentley down the back trail." Seeing the shocked look on Greta's face, Dawkins added, "Yes, Greta, of course there is another route off the mountain." "I knew it," she said, grinning despite everything. "So how do we get there?" The wind around us was growing fierce as the surging flames sucked up oxygen. "We don't. You three will have to find another way out of here." "We four, you mean?" Greta said. "No, I mean 3. The Bend Sinister will have stayed out of range of that electromagnetic pulse, a 5 or 10 minute drive away, but they're likely on their way here now." Dawkins turned to me. "Ronan, you, Sammy, and Greta need to get out of here, pronto." He didn't have to add, "Greta's a pure. I'm relying on you to protect her." "No way," Greta said. "We're not leaving you by yourself." "Somebody must cover your retreat," Dawkins said. "As a Blood Guard overseer, that task falls to me." "We should be armed," I said. He caught my eye and nodded, then rooted around in his bag and drew out an edgeless dueling blade that I'd learned was called a small sword. It was about a yard long and as thin and light as a needle. "Try not to put out your eye," he said, handing it to me. "You should probably arm me too," Sammy said. "Oh, should I?" Dawkins asked, and then said, "I don't have much, I'm afraid." He produced a familiar-looking slingshot. It had a wrist brace on the grip and rubber cords attached to a fat leather strip. "You remember how this works?" "You remember the pool?" Sammy asked. "Touché." He glanced back into the bag. "I'm afraid, Greta, that I have nothing else to spare here." "That's okay," Greta said. "I'm happy being the brains of this trio." "Take the ski slope. It was the best of your escape plans, Greta," Dawkins said, straightening up. We stood looking at him dumbly until he shouted, "What are you waiting for? Go! Now!" Only one flattened box was still sitting at the top of the ski slope, its corner flapping in the hot gusts of air from the fire. "Where's mine?" Sammy said, breathing hard from our run down the street. Far away downhill was a light patch of tan that might have been Sammy's box. "No big deal," Greta said. "We can sled down together on Ronan's box." But the minute she and Sammy sat down, it was clear the box wasn't going anywhere. Our combined weight was just too much. "This so isn't going to work," Sammy said. "No, it won't," I agreed. But then I remembered something Dawkins had said. "But I know what will. Grab the box and come on." Next to the boarded-up building everyone called the storehouse was a machine the size of a tractor trailer with the word ICE written in huge red letters along its side. It dispensed blocks of ice as big as suitcases, for the old ice boxes people used before refrigerators, I guess. On one end of the machine was a chute and a wire cage to catch the ice blocks as they slid from the machine. I yanked on the big metal lever, and a block of ice slid out of the machine into the cage with a thunk. Sammy and I lifted that block out, and then 2 more after Greta pulled the lever. "These things weigh a ton," Sammy said. "That's what the box is for," I said. It was almost easy to drag the ice back to the top of the slope using the sheet of cardboard. We slid the blocks off and sat down. Immediately, the seat of my jeans soaked through with cold. Half the town was on fire behind us. There was so much smoke in the sky that the light had grown dim and weird, like twilight at 10 in the morning. "Time to go," I said. "We can't do this," Greta said, standing up again. "It's just a little bit of water," I said. "Not that," Greta snapped. "Jack! We can't just run away and leave Jack by himself." "Seriously, dude," Sammy said, picking up a stone and loading it into his sling. "We're supposed to be in this together." I didn't want to abandon Dawkins either, but my mission as a Blood Guard was to safeguard my charge.